Hello lovelies, welcome to Narc Free Formula. My name's Freedom. Thank you for joining me today. Today's topic is about now is the perfect time to leave the narcissist. So when I say now, I'm talking about the time of March 2020. The time of, I'm just going to refer to it as Come On Eileen time. It rhymes with Come On Eileen. The reason I'm saying that is because if I actually say the word COVID 19, what happens is my video will automatically be demonetized. So I have a few ads on my videos. I would like to keep a few ads on my videos, so I will just be referring to it as Come On Eileen. Alright darlings, let's get down to this. So why is now the perfect time to leave the narcissist? So just quickly, this is for anyone who is either still with the narcissist, you know, because of the kids, or because you think he'll change, because you love him, because he's not really that bad. So it's for you people, and it's also for those of you who have left, but who are still not managing to implement or maintain no contact. So now is the perfect time to leave the narcissist or to change the dynamic and go no contact. And why is now the time? Well, there's a few reasons. The fact is that we are experiencing something that, you know, as a human race, as a species, as a planet, we haven't experienced for 100 years. This is big. There's so much change going on right now all around us. I mean, what's one more little bit of change? In all reality, what is one more bit of change? The way the brain works is when it learns something new, it actually changes the brain. So the brain has what's called neuroplasticity. It's the capacity of the brain to change. It is, it's like almost like plastic in a sense. It grows, expands. Part of it, parts of the brain die off, unfortunately, due to stress, chronic stress with the narcissist. So in this situation, we are already faced with a lot of change. We're changing the way we live. We're changing our everyday reality. So now is actually probably the perfect time. So I want to just quickly go through the reasons that people are, you know, the reasons that people are staying. The main one I hear is, for the sake of the kids. So today I was just reading about a woman who, her father has just passed away. She is now in her 50s, late 50s, and is coming to terms with the fact that her narcissistic father destroyed her childhood, that she went on to find a man just like her father, who then destroyed her young adulthood, and that, you know, it's taken her all this time to actually come to peace with her childhood from having a narcissistic father. I say this so often because I know it's true. Having no parent, so having no dad, is better than having a narcissistic father. All that narcissists teach their children is that they have no worth, no value, they don't really matter, that they are capable of being abused, that it's okay to be abused, you know, and it sets them up for bad relationships, whether they're boys or girls. You know, for boys, often boys will side with the abuser because it's better in their mind to side with the dominant party than the victim, because they don't want to see themselves as a victim. So often they end up, you know, role playing out this stuff as they become teenagers and young men. So it sets them up for toxic and unhealthy relationships. And as women, we seek, you know, partners who are like these narcissistic fathers. So if you're telling yourself it's for the kids' sake, you're in denial. There is nothing, there is no value, there is nothing that is going to come from having a narcissistic parent around. They will just undermine any efforts that you make. They will compete against those children as they get older, and they will damage those children. Okay, take it from me, take it from anyone who has had children with them and has seen the long-term damage and effects. All right, darlings, number 2, this idea that he will change. You know, I'm a firm believer in the power of, you know, people's capacity to change, but the thing is, with the pure definition of a personality disorder is, you know, we get a personality disorder because of the way we do things repeatedly. That's it ends up becoming, you know, who we are. So if someone is rigid, cold, or manipulative, dishonest, over time, it becomes a disorder, i.e. that's just how their programming is. They don't think about things. They just do it automatically. If the opportunity is there to manipulate someone, they will take the opportunity. Same with the opportunity to lie, con, deceit, steal, cheat. I mean, they've done it so often for so long, it's become a disorder. You know, if they wanted to spend the rest of their life in therapy trying to unlearn the lessons that they've learned, I mean, you know, there's a snowball's chance in hell that they would be successful. In my entire 3 years working in this field, I have not found one single person who has said, yes, he changed. I've heard, yes, he changed, and then a week later, oh no, he didn't actually change. You know, it was just an act. They're capable of putting on an act, definitely. They're definitely capable of pretending to be different, of acting a certain way. You know, so for example, they get new supply who is a Christian, who goes to church. You know, they will go to church. They will do all those things. Now, to the former supply, you know, to the woman who was with him before, when he used to be, I don't know, a drug-taking, law-breaking rebel, you know, she'll be sitting there thinking, oh my God, he's changed. The reality is he hasn't changed. He's just adapting to his new environment. He's just figuring out how he's going to take advantage of these people. And he's also wearing a mask so that he can blend in to the environment and go unseen and move throughout that environment. It's kind of interesting with the Come On Eileen stage that we're living through, because I've been noticing the similarities between narcissists and viruses. Fascinating. Anyhow, I digress. So he won't change, and even if he does, it's a temporary thing, because the reality is the nature of the disorder is that they have a sense of entitlement. They feel superior. They feel better than people. Then they also suffer from narcissistic injury, so they're very easily wounded. So the second things don't go their way, they will revert to their old patterns of behavior and patterns of thinking. And the other thing is, one of the lessons that we should all learn from a very young age is don't ever go into a relationship with someone trying to change them. Either love them for who they are or move on. Because when you are trying to change someone, and even though, granted, you don't want someone to be a narcissist, so that's a positive change, but the reality is, you know, you're wasting your own time, effort and energy trying to change an adult who does know better. You know, he knows he's not supposed to lie and cheat and sneak around and hit you and be manipulative. Like, he knows. You don't need to tell him. He knows this stuff. He chooses to not have control. He chooses to act violently. This is a choice. Okay? So, third thing, I love him, and that's fine. I understand that. You know, I left still loving my ex. I don't love him anymore though, but I did when I left, and it was hard. I've been there for 13 years. Of course, you know, but the reality is our love becomes more of a habit. We love them because of who we are, not because of who they are. We love them despite it all. And the reality is they don't love us, you know? So wasting your life loving someone who doesn't love you, giving your best and giving your all to someone who doesn't love you, and worse than not loving you, worse than that, will undermine you, hold you down, push you back, who will deliberately try and make you sick, hurt you, steal from you. You know, it's insanity when you stop and think about it. Why would you stay with someone who ultimately is going to try and destroy you? At some stage, when you put your foot down with a narcissist, they will realize that they're not going to get any more fuel, and then they will try and destroy you. So be mindful of that as you're propping someone up with all your love, all your energy, helping him get through the hard times. You know, just remember that it's not that far down the track that he'll be all shacked up with new supply, trying to take your kids off you, trying to fight you for every dollar you ever earned, or half the house, or whatever it is, you know, that he thinks he's entitled to. Just be mindful of that, because they turn very quickly. And when they turn, they become nasty enemies. All right, darlings, what are we on? 4. He's not that bad. You know, I hear this a lot. He's not that bad. I mean, you know, he only chokes me occasionally, or he only hits me occasionally. And the thing is, there's a couple of things going on. This is cognitive dissonance, where people are so torn between the reality and then the false construct. So he pretends to be a nice guy, you know, 23 hours out of every 24. But for that 1 hour a day, he lets the mask slip, and you see who he really is. And that's the person who does abuse you, hurt you, lie to you, cheat on you, manipulate you. I mean, the reality is that is the person. So the cognitive dissonance, it's a real thing, but the more you stay reality-based and focused on what is real and what is an illusion, the more you will realize you have to get away from these people, that they are just keeping you in this false construct, this false world, where, you know, they are pretending that you are the queen. You are the queen. You are the center of their world. You are their everything. It's just not true. The second that you're out the door, when you're off to work or off with your girlfriends or whatever it is you're doing, right? The second your back is turned, he's off doing something else. Okay? You're not the center of his world. He's forgotten about you until you come back. Because that's, once again, this is the nature of narcissistic personality disorder. So yes, he is that bad. And the other thing also with that, just quickly, is, you know, we all have a level of standards and a level of, you know, what we accept as being normal. Well, with narcissists, what they do is they slowly undermine that. They slowly wind back, you know, what is normal, what is acceptable, what is okay. So after a while, we go from being the woman who says, you know, if a man ever hit me, I'd be out of there. That'd be it. They'd never see me again. We go from being that woman to one who says, well, you know, he's only choked me a couple of times. Like, he doesn't do it often. It's just when he gets really angry. See what I mean? We start to lower our own expectations, our own idea of what is okay. And that's what they do. Narcissists deliberately lower the bar. And they do it across the board. They do it with the level of abuse. So they ramp up the level of abuse, and they also wind back the amount of time, effort, and energy they put into keeping you around. So they give you the minimal amount of energy. So if you're the type of person who will let them do whatever they want and get away with it, you don't ask for much, you know, they'll keep you around, sure. But as soon as you actually want something more for yourself, when you realize that you're a human being and you do have the right to ask to have your needs met, you know, that you do have the right to exist as an equal in a relationship, as soon as you try and start to stand up for yourself, you will realize that they will start trying to replace you as primary supply. Because there's only, you know, there's a certain type of way they want you to be, and if you're not that, they're gonna replace you. Which is why I keep saying to people, you can stay with them. You know, you can justify to yourself and say, you know, yeah, he only does it occasionally, he's not that bad, you know, the kids really love him. You can justify it all, no matter how you want. That's fine. You know, that's your choice, that's your life. But in actuality, what is going to happen is at some point, like I said, at some point, you're either going to get too old, too fat, you know, too sick, You'll get a job where you won't be able to spend all your time, effort and energy on him. You'll have a child who's got special needs, and he's not the center of your world. Something will happen where you won't be able to perform at your optimal fuel producing self. So you won't be able to give out as much fuel as you have. And that is when you'll be replaced. And you'll be sitting there saying, but hang on, I gave everything to you for the last 20 years. I did everything for you. And you know what? They'll be like, oh yeah, that was ages ago. That was ages ago. They don't care. So don't waste your life on these people. Don't waste your life accepting crumbs, accepting the little bit of affection they give, because ultimately they will replace you. So now is the time. Now is the time, while this Come On Eileen crisis is on, is the time to change your whole reality. Our world is changing right now. Lots of positive change. Amazing things are going to come out of this. It's scary at the moment, sure. But, at the end of this, it's kind of going to be like a bit of a cleansing. I think we're going to realize what is important to us, what we value in life. And I think we're going to realize that money is not as important as we thought. That what we really value is our time shared together, our closeness, our friendships, our relationships, our families and our loved ones. So now is the time. Your brain is going through change anyhow. So seize the moment, do whatever you need to do to go no contact. Just block them across all social media, all email, phone, block their numbers. Every time a number you get a phone call from a number you don't recognize, block that number. Okay, I've got other videos that I'll link here about how to do no contact properly, because 99% of people think they're doing no contact, but they're actually not. And let's just start thinking about other things other than the narcissist. If anything that this time has taught us, like I said, it's to focus on what is really important, not on these, the narcissists, they become a habit. We get so addicted to them. We get so addicted to their chaos, the ups and downs, the push-pull, the fighting, the making, the breaking up, the making up, all of that. We get so addicted, physically and emotionally and psychologically addicted to that. Now is the time to just step back from it all and focus on what are you actually doing with your life. Now, this is our life here, people. This is not like a test drive. This is not like a preview. Like, this is it, right? Is this all your life is ever going to be? Just running around after a man-child, cleaning up his messes, making his world perfect, getting nothing, hoping for nothing. I mean, is that really all you want for yourself? Or do you dream of something bigger? If you dream of something bigger, you need to know the narcissist is never going to give it to you. They're never going to say, you know what? You've been a good slave. You can go now. Go be free. All right? They are slave owners. They are never going to let you go. The only way you're going to get away is if you fight for your life. Now's the time to run, put up the boundaries, be strong, and realize that you are a slave, that you have been a slave in this relationship with them. And that, the only way you're going to stay free is if you stay away from them, because the second you let them back into your reality, there's only one thing they're going to try and do, and that's get you back under control again. Okay? So now, with all the isolation and the quarantine and lockdowns going on, now is the perfect time. If you're not already in lockdown with them, now is the perfect time to go somewhere else, go lock down with some friends, just get away from them. Seize the opportunity, because once, in theory, once you're in lockdown, hopefully you'll be able to keep your boundaries in place stronger. But just know, the normal rules are going to apply. The narcissist is going to try and break the rules. They're going to try and manipulate the situation. They're going to try and convince you that it's the end of days, that the only person that can protect them is you. The other way around, sorry. The only person that can protect you is them. It's all lies. It's all lies. It's all just scenes that they've seen in movies. words that they've heard other people say that have had an effect, and now they're saying it to you, hoping to get the same outcome. Right? Be strong. Be brave. Be strong. You're stronger than you realise, darlings. Just know that. Okay? You are stronger than you realise. All right, lovelies. Thank you for listening, and yeah, get narc free and stay narc free. Bye.